Chloe's parents tried to cancel our wedding 2 days before, claiming I wasn't good enough for her. All thanks to MY Secret Investment. Hey Reddit, so I'm Liam, 28, and I'm about to get married. Or at least I was. My fiancé Chloe's family are loaded, old money, country club types. I built my own business from the ground up, but they still see me as some gold digger. They've always been condescending, but I never thought they'd pull something like this. They think they can control everything with their money. Little do they know. Should I tell them what I really did? Chloe and I were at her parents' house, finalizing some wedding details, or so I thought. Her mom kept making these snide remarks about how lucky I was to be marrying into their family, and I just bit my tongue. Then her dad called us into the study, all serious. I thought it was about the rehearsal dinner. Nope. He sat us down, Chloe next to him, and looked me dead in the eyes. We're canceling the wedding, he said, like he was ordering a steak. My stomach dropped. I literally felt the blood drain from my face. Chloe deserves better. My heart started pounding. I looked at Chloe, searching her face for some sign that this was a joke, some kind of twisted prank, but she was just staring at her hands, her knuckles white. Her dad went on, saying I was manipulating her, that I'd never be able to provide for her the way they could. She agrees with us, Liam, he added, like a final stab to the gut. Agrees? My vision started to blur. I couldn't breathe. It felt like the room was spinning. Chloe didn't say anything. Did she really agree? Her brothers came in then, standing there like silent, smug bodyguards. I wanted to scream, to punch something, but I was frozen, completely numb. Her mom chimed in, all sweet and condescending, saying they were just looking out for their daughter's best interests. Best interests? By humiliating me like this, by treating me like I was nothing, I felt a wave of nausea wash over me. I stood up, shaking. I couldn't even look at Chloe. You'll regret this, I managed to choke out before I stumbled out of the house. I didn't even know where I was going. I just needed to get out of there, away from them, away from her. I couldn't believe what had just happened. How could she? How could they? I stumbled back to my apartment, my mind racing. I had to do something, anything. I couldn't let them win. They thought they could just bulldoze over me, erase me from the picture, like I was some insignificant bug they could just flick away. But they had underestimated me. I called my property manager, Mark. He handles the building where my office is, but he also does some side work managing properties for a few other clients. One of those clients, as of 6 months ago, the exclusive country club where the wedding was supposed to be held. Yeah, that's right, I bought it, as an investment. I was planning on surprising Chloe and everyone else at the reception. But now it was my ace in the hole. Mark, I said, my voice shaking slightly, I need to make sure the wedding scheduled for this Saturday is absolutely, positively locked in. No cancellations under any circumstances. Got it. Mark, bless his soul, didn't ask questions. He just said, consider it done, Liam. I went back to Chloe's parents' house. I had to see her, had to hear it from her. When I got there, they were all in the living room, acting like nothing had happened. Her mom was arranging flowers, her dad was reading the paper, her brothers were watching some golf tournament. Like they hadn't just ripped my heart out and stomped on it. Chloe, I asked, my voice tight. She came downstairs, her eyes red and swollen. I told her about my call to Mark, that the wedding was still on, at least at the venue. Her dad scoffed. That won't change anything, Liam. The wedding is off. Chloe understands. Understands? What did she understand? I felt a fresh wave of anger surge through me. Chloe, I pleaded, tell me this isn't true. Tell me you don't agree with them. She looked at me, her eyes filled with pain. Liam, they're saying you're not good enough for me. My blood ran cold. Not good enough. Those words echoed in my ears. Her mom chimed in, darling, we just want what's best for you. Liam is a sweet boy, but he's not one of us. He can't provide for you the way your future husband should. Provide? I'd built a successful business from nothing. I'd worked my ass off. And they were dismissing it like it was some childish hobby. You think this is about money? I asked, my voice rising. You think you can buy your way out of everything? Her dad stood up, his face red with anger. Don't you dare talk to my wife like that. We're trying to protect our daughter from making a huge mistake. Protect? This wasn't protection. This was control, manipulation. They were trying to break us apart. You're not protecting her, I said, my voice shaking with rage. You're suffocating her, you're trying to control her life. Her brothers stepped forward like they were going to physically throw me out. I stood my ground. I wasn't backing down. That's when I realized it. This wasn't normal family conflict. This was toxic, poisonous, and I was caught in the middle of it. I looked at Chloe, her face pale and drawn. She looked trapped. Broken, and I knew in that moment that I had to fight. Not just for me, but for her, for us, even if it meant going to war with her entire family. This morning, things went from bad to worse. Way worse. I'm starting to think Chloe's parents are actually certifiable. So after they tried to cancel the wedding and I made that call to Mark, my property manager's secret weapon, I thought things might cool down. Ha, was I ever wrong. First, Chloe came back to my place yesterday completely distraught. Turns out, while she was at her final dress fitting, which her mom insisted on attending, by the way, someone raided the apartment where we're storing the wedding gifts. Half of them were gone, vanished. Poof, Chloe was heartbroken. Tears streaming down her face, she kept saying, "They can't do this. They can't just take things." I held her while she sobbed, feeling a mixture of rage and helplessness. Who does that? I told her about the security cameras in the building. We're going to get the footage. I have a feeling I know exactly who's behind this. It's so transparent, it's almost comical. Almost. Chloe called her dad, screaming at him. I could hear him yelling back through the phone, denying everything, of course. He actually had the nerve to say, "Maybe someone just needed those gifts more than you, Chloe. Think of it as charity." Charity. We're talking about high-end blenders and crystal champagne flutes, not canned goods. I wanted to rip the phone out of her hand and tell him exactly what I thought of his charity. The whole thing just reinforced what I already knew. Her family is toxic. They think their money gives them the right to control everything and everyone around them. They think they can just manipulate Chloe into doing what they want, regardless of her feelings. And the worst part, Chloe's starting to believe them. She keeps saying things like, "Maybe they're right, Liam. Maybe I am making a mistake." It's breaking my heart. I'm starting to question myself too. Am I crazy for fighting this? Am I being selfish by wanting to marry her despite all this family drama? But then I look at Chloe and I remember why I'm doing this. I love her. And I refuse to let her family dictate our future. But it's not just the stolen gifts. Oh no, they escalated things even further. This morning, I woke up to a barrage of texts from distant relatives I've never even met. They were all saying variations of the same thing. Chloe deserves better. You're not good enough for her. Stay away from our family. Seriously, who are these people? How did they even get my number? I'm starting to feel like I'm in some twisted reality show. Then, the kicker, my phone buzzed with a notification from Facebook. Someone had tagged me in a post. It was a picture of me from college, a little unflattering, let's just say. The caption read, "Is this the kind of man you want your daughter to marry? Think twice, Chloe." The post was from Chloe's aunt, an aunt I've never even met. Are you kidding me? The comments were even worse. People were calling me a gold digger, a loser, a social climber. My God. I deleted the post and blocked the aunt, but the damage was done. My phone hasn't stopped buzzing all day. This is affecting my work, my sleep, my sanity. I feel like I'm constantly on edge, waiting for the next attack. This isn't just about a wedding anymore. This is about my reputation, my dignity, my future. I'm realizing I can't just sit back and let them walk all over me. I need to take action. I need to fight back. But how? I'm starting to think revealing my little secret about the country club might be the only way to shut them up. But I'm worried about how Chloe will react. She's already so stressed. I don't want to add to it, but I also don't want to let her family win. Reddit, what do I do? This is insane. I'm losing my mind here. So, after that whole disaster with the missing gifts and the Facebook smear campaign, I knew I needed to talk to someone. I called up my best friend Alex. He's known me since we were kids, and he's always been the level-headed one. I was hesitant to tell him the whole story at first. It felt so embarrassing, like I was some loser whining about his in-laws, but I couldn't keep it bottled up anymore. I needed to vent. I needed someone to tell me I wasn't crazy. "Alex," I started, "you are not going to believe what's been happening." I spilled everything. The attempted cancellation, the stolen gifts, the Facebook post, the harassing texts. I even told him about the country club, my secret weapon. As I talked, I could hear the disbelief in his voice. "Dude," he said, "are you serious? They stole your wedding gifts, and her aunt posted that crap on Facebook. That's insane." "I know, right?" I said. "I feel like I'm losing my mind. They're trying to sabotage our entire wedding. They're trying to break us up." "That's exactly what they're doing, Liam," Alex said. "This isn't just normal family drama, this is a full-blown assault on your relationship." That's when it hit me. Alex was right, this wasn't normal, it was toxic, and I needed to stop treating it like it was. "I don't know what to do, man," I said. "I'm starting to question everything. Am I really not good enough for her? Should I just walk away?" "Walk away," Alex said, his voice rising. "Hell no. They're trying to manipulate you, Liam. They're trying to make you feel like you don't deserve Chloe. Don't let them win, you love her, right? More than anything, I said. Then fight for her, Alex said. Don't let them bully you into giving up. You've built a successful business, you're a good guy, you clearly love Chloe. What more do they want? His words were like a punch to the gut. A good kind of punch. He was right. I had been letting them bully me, I'd been letting their opinions dictate my self-worth. They want control, Alex continued. They want Chloe to marry someone they approve of, someone they can control, someone with their kind of money. They see you as a threat to that control. That was it, the missing piece of the puzzle. It wasn't about me not being good enough. It was about them losing control. So, what do? I asked. Do I tell them about the country club? Do I expose them for what they are? Absolutely, Alex said. Don't just tell them, show them. Show them that they can't control you. Show them that you're not afraid of them. Show them that you and Chloe are a force to be reckoned with. Talking to Alex was a turning point. He helped me see the situation clearly, without the cloud of self-doubt and insecurity that Chloe's family had created. I finally felt validated. I wasn't crazy. I wasn't wrong. I was being attacked, and I was ready to fight back. Okay, so after talking to Alex, I felt like a new man. Empowered. Ready to take on Chloe's family and their bullshit. I decided I was going to reveal everything at the rehearsal dinner, which, ironically, they were hosting. I even printed out the deed to the country club just to shove it in their faces. But fate, as it turns out, had other plans. This morning my phone started blowing up again. Texts from Chloe's parents, her brothers, even some of those distant relatives who'd been harassing me before. They were frantic. Panicked. Apparently, the venue manager at the country club had confirmed that the wedding was still on, despite their attempts to cancel it. And the manager had mentioned that the wedding was happening at the owner's request. The texts were hilarious, in a twisted, infuriating kind of way. How do you know the owner? What did you do? You're not going to get away with this. It was like watching a pack of hyenas realizing they were trapped in their own cage. Then the doorbell rang. I looked through the peephole and saw him standing there. Chloe's dad. His face was pale, his eyes wide with a mixture of anger and fear. I couldn't believe he'd actually come to my apartment. I opened the door and he just barged in like he owned the place. What the hell is going on, Liam? He demanded, his voice shaking. How did you manage to keep the wedding on? Who do you know at the club? He was pacing back and forth, his hands clenched into fists. He looked like he was about to have a stroke. I told you the wedding was happening, I said calmly, taking a sip of my coffee. I wanted to savor this moment, I wanted him to squirm. Don't play games with me, Liam, he shouted. You're not fooling anyone, we know you're not important enough to pull this off. Who are you using? Who did you bribe? Bribe, the audacity of this man. The sheer entitlement. That was the final straw. The moment everything changed. Something snapped inside me, a switch flipped. I was done being the victim. I was done being polite. I was done letting them control the narrative. My heart was pounding in my chest, my hands were shaking, but my voice was steady, ice cold. Bribe, I repeated, a smirk spreading across my face. I don't need to bribe anyone, Mr. Thompson, because I own the country club. His face went white, his jaw dropped. He stared at me speechless. In that moment I felt a surge of power, a rush of adrenaline. I wasn't scared anymore. I was exhilarated. This was it, the moment of truth, and I was ready. I knew this confrontation was coming. After the frantic texts and the sheer panic I sensed from Chloe's family, I knew Mr. Thompson wouldn't be able to resist coming to my apartment to demand answers. So I prepared. First, I made sure I had the hard evidence. I printed out the deed to the country club, the one with MY name on it as the owner. I placed it on the coffee table, casually, like it was just another magazine. Strategic placement, people. I wanted him to see it, to let it sink in before I delivered the final blow. Next, I called Alex again, just for moral support. He stayed on the line, muted, while Mr. Thompson was here. Just knowing he was there in my corner gave me an extra boost of confidence. MY wingman. I also made sure the security cameras in my apartment were working. I had a feeling this conversation might get heated, and I wanted to make sure I had a record of everything just in case. CYA, am I right? But the most important preparation I did was mental. I took a few deep breaths, centered myself. I reminded myself of why I was doing this. It wasn't just about proving something to Chloe's family. It was about protecting my relationship with Chloe. It was about standing up for myself. It was about taking back control. I envisioned the look on Mr. Thompson's face when I finally revealed the truth. I imagined the shock, the disbelief, the utter humiliation. And let me tell you, Reddit, it was the most satisfying visualization of my life. I was ready. Bring on the confrontation. The air in my apartment was thick with tension. Mr. Thompson, red-faced and sputtering, was still trying to process what I just said. Chloe, who had been quietly watching from the doorway, gasped and covered her mouth with her hand. You own it," Mr. Thompson stammered, his eyes darting to the deed on the coffee table. He snatched it up, his hands trembling as he scanned the document. His face drained of color. It was the exact reaction I'd been picturing, priceless. "That's right," I said, my voice calm and steady. "I bought the country club 6 months ago, as an investment." I paused, letting the words hang in the air. I was planning on surprising Chloe and everyone else at the reception. But now it seems like a good time to clear up a few misunderstandings. He looked up from the deed, his eyes wide with disbelief. But how? You're just a," he trailed off, unable to finish the sentence. He couldn't bring himself to say the word nobody. The word they had been using to define me for so long. "Just a what, Mr. Thompson?" I asked, my voice laced with steel. "Just a hard-working entrepreneur who built a successful business from the ground up. Just a man who loves your daughter and wants to marry her." Chloe stepped forward, her eyes blazing. "The wedding is happening, Dad," she said, her voice firm. "With or without you." That was the turning point. Chloe, standing there defiant by my side, it was like a weight lifted off my chest. We were a united front. And her family's power over us, the power they'd wielded for so long, crumbled into dust. "Mr. Thompson looked from me to Chloe, his face a mask of confusion, and was that regret? He opened his mouth to speak, but no words came out. He just stood there, defeated. The smugness, the arrogance, the entitlement, all gone, replaced by a stunned silence. "I suggest you leave," I said, my voice cold. "The wedding is tomorrow. You can either be there to support your daughter, or you can stay home and stew in your own prejudice. The choice is yours." He finally found his voice, but it was weak, almost pathetic. "Chloe, honey, we need to talk." "No, Dad," Chloe said, her voice shaking but resolute. "We don't need to talk. You need to think about what you've done. You tried to control my life, to sabotage my happiness. And for what? Because Liam didn't fit your narrow definition of good enough." He looked at her, his eyes pleading. But Chloe didn't waver. She stood her ground, and in that moment I knew we were going to be okay. We had faced the storm together, and we had won. Mr. Thompson finally turned and walked out, his shoulders slumped. He didn't say another word. Chloe turned to me, her eyes filled with tears. But this time they weren't tears of sadness or despair. They were tears of relief, of triumph. We had won. And it felt so, damn, good. Okay, Reddit, deep breaths. It's been a week since the wedding. A week since the most insane, stressful, and ultimately amazing day of my life. I'm still processing everything, but I wanted to give you an update, especially to those who offered support and advice. Thank you. Seriously, you guys got me through this. So the immediate aftermath of the country club reveal was interesting. Mr. Thompson left my apartment looking like he'd seen a ghost. Chloe and I just stood there for a minute, kind of in shock. Then we burst out laughing. It was this crazy mix of relief, disbelief, and pure, unadulterated joy. We did it. The rest of that day was a blur. We had to deal with the fallout from the whole gift-stealing incident. Turns out, it was Chloe's mom, Ray, gifting them to some of her charity friends. Seriously. The police got involved, which was another level of crazy, but we got most of the gifts back. The Facebook smear campaign died down pretty quickly once the news about the country club got out. Funny how that works. The wedding itself, it was complicated. Some of Chloe's family showed up, including her mom, who was surprisingly apologetic, though I'm still side-eyeing her. Her brothers came, looking sheepish. A few cousins and aunts and uncles were there too, but Mr. Thompson and his side of the family boycotted. Chloe was heartbroken but also resolute. She wasn't going to let their absence ruin her day. And it didn't. The wedding was beautiful. Chloe looked stunning. And when we said our vows, I knew with absolute certainty that we were doing the right thing. This is my wife. It's been a week now, and things are settling. Chloe and I are on our honeymoon, delayed, obviously, because of all the drama. We're finally able to relax and just be together. It's amazing. The best part? No family drama, just us. Mr. Thompson still hasn't spoken to me. He sent Chloe a curt text congratulating us, acknowledging my business acumen, but no apology. Chloe's mom has been trying to smooth things over, but the damage is done. It's going to take time, if ever, to repair that relationship. Honestly, I'm not sure I even want to. I've realized that some relationships are just toxic, and you need to protect yourself from them. Boundaries are important. Chloe is still hurt by her dad's actions, but she's also stronger than ever. She stood up to him, to her entire family, and chose me. That takes guts. And I love her even more for it. Our relationship is solid. As for me, I've learned a lot. I've learned that money doesn't buy class or respect. I've learned the importance of standing up for myself, of not letting people walk all over me. I've learned that true love is about fighting for each other, no matter what. And I've learned that sometimes, the best revenge is success. Owning the country club was the best decision I ever made. So Reddit, what do you think? Any advice on navigating post-wedding family drama? Anyone else have crazy in-law stories? Let me know. I could use a laugh or a cry, let's be real.